Good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to be with Ron, Chai, Damien today, the three founders of Quoin International and PLAAK, talking about their business, which is essentially a cryptocurrency business, which will over time evolve into much more. This is an incredibly hot sector at the moment. For those watching the news last night, you would have seen that Tesla invested something like $1.5 billion into Bitcoin. And if you look at the Bitcoin price, it just keeps going through the roof. I was having breakfast with some colleagues, business investment colleagues yesterday, that all they could talk about was the sector and what cryptocurrencies are doing and how it's the future and all those good things. So, this is a very exciting company, very, very high-tech guys. For those of you who want to learn more, the investment presentation is on Entrepreneur Australia, along with other investment opportunities. You can request a detailed information memorandum, and we are happy to talk to anybody that would like to talk to us on a one-on-one, meet with us, and meet with the team. So, welcome to you guys, Ron, CEO,
Thanks,
Damien and Chai.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Now, we've got about 10, 15 minutes. I like it to sort of be quite relaxed and free-flowing. Can I just ask to kick off with how the three of you sort of got together, and Ron, a bit of history of Quoin and PLAAK?
Yeah. Sure, thanks, Doug, and thanks for having us. Well, about 2 years ago, I developed an app for affordable housing under the brand name of Quoin. And behind that was the tokenization and using blockchain. So obviously at that time, I was looking for somebody to support me in terms of technology. And then I was introduced to PLAAK, and that's through Damien and Chai. So we started putting our heads together, and sort of last year, we changed a bit of strategy, because we realized that in order to get this up and running, we need to create something a bit bigger. So we decided that we would create a technology company first to support the app. And through that, we realized there is a gap in the market, right? Because if I'm looking for a support, there are many other companies like ourselves that are looking at tokenizing our business or creating something in blockchain. So the three of us decided, well, let's set up the technology company, focus on providing service to SMEs, and and here we're going. And I'm sure my colleagues and directors would explain a bit more how this whole thing operates.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. Okay, well, perhaps that's a good place to kick off. Damien, maybe I can ask you just to shed some light on blockchain for all of those that have heard the concept, don't fully understand it. Where does it come from? What's the future of blockchain?
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Look, it's a great question. It's a question that we always get asked, what is blockchain? How does it work? So I guess in simplest terms, blockchain can be best described as a data structure that holds transactional records while maintaining security, transparency, and a decentralized environment. So when we talk about decentralization, we're talking about that there's no single authority. So if you look at the traditional models out there, there's always that centralized authority. There's always someone that has to press the button to verify a transaction. So with blockchain, it becomes a distributed ledger that is completely open, and that all the records are recorded on a public forum, so like a public explorer, if that makes sense. So therefore, the information can't be scrubbed, it can't be changed, it can't be altered, and so at the end of the day, it's a very transparency of information that's been provided that anyone can see. Blockchain really is a tool. It's like the internet when the internet first came out. So it's a tool. We've identified how we could use blockchain to support small to medium enterprise businesses, utilize blockchain in a number of different applications in many different sectors, real estate, gold, retail, manufacturing, logistics, and so on. So that's a nutshell of blockchain. We could go right into depth with blockchain, but generally speaking, that's how I've communicated it to people that ask me, and people went, wow, I get it, I understand it, now I know what blockchain's about. So yeah.
Okay, thanks, Damien. Now, in working with you guys over the last sort of 4 or 5 months, you introduced me certainly to a new concept that I'd never heard about, and that's side chain. Chai, can you talk a little bit about side chain? Because I know that part of the funds to be raised in this initial seed round will be put towards further developing your side chain technology.
Yeah, sure. Hi, guys. Yeah, look, we're obviously the base on blockchain is quite unique to PLAAK. We've been developing this over the last 2 years. Sidechain technology is fairly new, and it's one of our obviously key upgrades in our development progress. So I guess our main target was to obviously introduce businesses into our sidechain network so they can obviously create their own ledger and private data infrastructure. So it's really unique. It there's other concepts around, but it helps speed up the network in essential in a way where all their nodes and all the information is stored separately off the main chain. So yeah, that in a nutshell, it's quite a neat concept from what we've already developed so far.
Is it improvement on, let's say, the traditional model of one main blockchain?
Yeah, so obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum, a lot of people know, what Bitcoin is, what Ethereum is, and they have their flaws with congestions of the network. So as more transactions happen on that network, obviously that block or the chain actually gets congested. So, we're looking at ways, as a technologist and a developer, we're looking at ways, how can we speed up that network? And having a side chain is a unique feature where it doesn't congest that main network. So, yeah.
And security is not compromised by having side chains, or is it enhanced perhaps?
Obviously enhances the security protocol. We are looking at BFTs or DBFTs at the moment, and we're also looking at PLAAK 3 as a hashing algorithm. So, which is an upgrade from our PLAAK 2B, which we previously had. So, our security, obviously, the more nodes we have in the market, the stronger the network is. As you can see with Bitcoin, hosts over 10,000 nodes. Ethereum obviously has a high volume of nodes. So, the more nodes in the market, the more secure the network is. We're using different algorithms that will obviously make our network even more secure. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited on how we're moving. Hopefully, in the next few months, we can showcase some of our technology, around Australia and around the world. So.
Super. So, Chai, while I've got you, if I can ask you to, keep it as simple as possible for simple layman like me, what sets Quoin aside from its competitors? What makes you different?
We were talking about our blockchain. Well, we compare ourselves to Cardinal, EOS, Polkadot. Obviously, they've been around for a number of years. This is an Australian technology that we've been doing a lot of research, R&D research over the last couple of years. So, our consensus is a little bit different to everyone else's. Our speed, we are targeting to reach 1 million transactions per second. So, there's a lot of work and that's gone around, that's happened in the background with our core team. But we do. Our language, or what we use, JavaScript and TypeScript, which is a fairly common language. Over 70% of developers around the world know how to code in that sort of language. We are looking at obviously with smart contracts, where you'd be able to create smart contracts in a number of different languages instead of, obviously, a lot of people know Ethereum, instead of using Solidity. So there's a lot of new features that we're going to be coming out, and once we're ready, I'm pretty happy to host another video and showcase some of our new technology.
All right, super. Thanks, Chai. Ron, why specifically SMEs? And can you cite some case examples for us?
Yeah, sure, Doug. I mean, typically, like what we're doing with our app, that's an internal project, obviously, and we similarly doing one for what we call an ethical fund type of investment, using crypto or digital currency in terms of investment. But we've also been approached by 3 other entities wanting to use blockchain. For example, there's a gold mining group that actually want to raise capital for their further operations. Traditionally, they would have to be taken over by a major or alternatively go to stock exchange. But by going to stock exchange, they lose 1/3 of their value. So by using the blockchain system and wide exchanges out there, it opens the world market for them in terms of opportunity. So that's one example. Another one is a carbon credit group. They're looking at pastoral land where the government's paying carbon credits. So they were thinking going on the stock exchange, but they saw the blockchain system and thought, well, let's have a look at it more depth. So we're investigating that further. Another group is a not-for-profit group dealing with mental health. The biggest problem with not-for-profit groups is that transparency and where the funds go, right? So we're creating a system whereby, you know, donor funds are split into 2, whereby they actually placed in an investment fund for further operations, and the other part is placed in for capital, for actual capital like the buildings, etc. But the structure is based on sustainability, and the whole thing is transparent. So donors know exactly where the funds are going because of the blockchain system. Yeah.
Okay, fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Damien, now, you know, suffice to say that Quoin, through its subsidiary PLAAK, is not a startup entity. You know, it's been going for some time. You have established technologies, you've got your own coins or tokens in the marketplace, you've got your own biometric card or hard wallet, which people see on the banner behind you. You've got a beautiful front-end website and a login capability. So you've actually covered significant ground already, and the funds that you're looking to raise in this next, and I emphasize, seed round, are simply to take you that next level, that next step. But can I ask you just to touch on the biometric card and how that works?
Yeah, certainly, Doug. Okay, so the biometrics card that we've created, it's a proof of concept. We demonstrated that we can do a transaction from a card to a point of sale phone, for argument's sake. What we were able to demonstrate was the authorization of the funds being transferred from A to B using biometric fingerprint. So what we're seeing out in the market is anyone can tap and go. Anyone can pretty much use a credit card or debit card over the internet banking or internet shopping. What we haven't seen is someone able to implement a biometrics application that protects the user's card. So therefore there's unauthorized transactions can't go through it. So if the biometric fingerprint doesn't work, then the card's renderless. We also saw the opportunity to utilize blockchain behind it to be able to record the transaction, something that hasn't been trialed. There are other companies out there in the world that are exploring it and for different purposes, but what we've seen is we can deploy this card in a financial and a non-financial market. And that's where we're seeing the card at the very moment. We are looking at implementing the card into the Quoin housing project as a way that the person who is in that premises can use the card to access their room, security into the door, use the card to go and purchase goods at a supermarket, a number of different options. They're the things that we're exploring. It's been a massive achievement so far to date, and we've got a little bit more to do with it, but we're very, very confident that we'll be able to deploy it into a market and solve some very serious problems out there, which is, you know, theft, not being able to validate the actual transaction, a number of different things as well. So I'm sure Chai could probably add a little bit to that. It was one of his in the early days.
Yeah, look, The card is very unique. I think Damien's pretty much got everything in a nutshell. It is essentially taking a little bit away from the banking sector, where obviously your digital assets is stored on the card, and the only way to get in it is obviously utilising your thumbprint. The normal traditional way with NFCs or your normal credit card, anyone essentially could hack or break into it if they wanted to, because obviously there's a transmission of data that obviously connects to the network. The only way that you're able to open that card up is obviously with your biometrics. There's things that I can add in place, second tier verification. We can have your wife as a dual verification with large amounts of funds. So there's a lot of stuff in the background that we are working with and looking into. But yeah, the card is very unique. I have been working on the card for over 12 months now, and obviously the management group and the directors and the board and that is looking to expand that card technology in the future.
All right, thanks, Chai. Now, I just want to pause on this for a moment because I really would like to let the listener get some sense of what actually exists currently within Quoin/PLAAK, because you've got the biometric wallet. You actually came out with your own exchange some time ago. You've got your own coins. You've got your own website. Do you want to just spend a moment on that and just share with the listener exactly what exists currently? Damien, can I ask you to do that?
Yeah, certainly, Doug. So currently what we have deployed is the biometric smart card. We've deployed our face-on blockchain, which is an independent blockchain. So we're not using another exchange platform such as Ethereum or EOS, or we actually built our own. We do have an exchange coding. We did take the exchange off. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm such a popular person. So as I was saying, the exchange, we do have the exchange. We made the decision to take it offline for the short term to allow us to reevaluate our products and how we want to put our products into the market. We found that the exchange market was oversaturated, and we wanted to be focused more on a point of difference than just being a simple follower like a lot of other exchanges doing. So that's what we've got right now as we go. We've got other source codes that we put on the shelf, such as our freelance app and also a supply chain application. And that's what we've got at the moment.
All right, that's super. Thanks, Damien. So I guess that's a good segue into perhaps asking you, Ron,
Yes.
why a capital raise and what are those funds going to be used for? And if I'm the potential investor, what's the future look like? Why should I be getting excited about dropping an investment into Quoin?
Well, thanks for that, Doug. Yes, this is obviously a unique opportunity. And as you mentioned earlier when you introduced us about the hype that's happening in the cryptocurrency space, we believe one of the very few Australian companies are heading this way. And we want to support all Australian type of businesses. As you know, we also have an office in Singapore. So our market is to assist the SMEs through our side chains to enhance their business. And by enhancing their business, it helps our particular PHA coins as well. If people do understand how the whole operation works in terms of cryptocurrency. So yeah, the capital raise is to develop our sidechain and enhance the biometric card, and obviously listing the PHA on major exchanges. So it's only time that we're selling equity in the company, because I think further capital raises, we'll be using tokens as all the major blockchain technology companies are doing in terms of enhancing their product. So yeah, the future is focusing on developing sidechains. At the same time, whilst we're doing the sidechain, we're going to continue developing our app in affordable housing, because I think it's a major problem worldwide. And similarly with our development fund, which I think will help in further development. Right. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Yeah, we're very excited about where we're going in the future.
Thank you, Ron. And to clarify, for those considering an investment, it's a 10% unsecured convertible note.
Correct.
Which will convert into equity at the time of redemption or maturity.
Yes.
3% discount to the then
correct
value of the company.
Yes.
Or the company has the funds available. It can pay those funds out if that's
sure.
The choice of the investor.
Correct.
Right. Well, gents,
and then if I might add to that, Doug, it's when investors do invest, for every dollar they invest, they get one of our PHA coins, which is whether they can convert later or not, they will still hold those coins.
Okay.
So hopefully it reaches certain value, and that will give them additional bonus.
All right. So are those coins going to become as valuable as Bitcoins?
Well, we hope so. We hope so.
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will. There we go. Some positive attitude. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good note to finish on, gents. Thank you so much to the listeners listening in. This video will be available on Entrepreneur Australia. We have various other investments there that you can have a look at as well. And if you would like to talk to us about how you promote your company in a similar way, please contact me directly. Very excited about Quoin, very excited about the future of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, most notably PHA and what PLAAK and Quoin are going to be doing. So please watch this space. Thank you all. Thanks for your time, gents. And
thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.